Well, hello and welcome to another video by Financial Learning. On today's video, we're going to take a look at the institutional ownership of some Bitcoin mining stock. We're going to take a look at 15 different companies. These are the same 15 companies that I cover weekly when it comes to the short interest percent of free float. We're going to take a look and see what type of institutional owners are in, and then we're going to be ranking them based off of the overall institutional ownership value. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, and coming in at number 15 on our list, this is FUFU, that is ticker symbol FUFU. You can see they have a total of 16 institutional owners. Some names you may recognize would be JP Morgan Chase and a few others that I am not that familiar with, but if you are a savvy investor, I'm sure you do recognize a couple more of these. So drop some of these big names in the comments section to help me out here, if you will. Taking a look at the graph on the bottom left, you can see that there was a drop in institutional ownership for the month of March. And in the month of March, still institutional owners have 1.1 million shares, and that has an institutional value of $5.6 million. Coming in at number 14 on our list is going to be CANG, that is ticker symbol CANG. They have a total of 50 institutional owners. Taking a look at the bottom left graph, you can see a little spike in the month of March for institutional ownership of CANG. And recall, they were a car company that made the pivot to join the Bitcoin mining sector late last year in maybe November time period. So keep that in mind when you're taking a look at the institutional ownership, but it has started to grow. And taking a look at the right hand side, you can see institutional ownership is at 9 million shares and the value comes in at $38 million. And coming in at number 13 on our list is HIVE Digital, that is ticker symbol HIVE. They had a total institutional ownership of 129, and they had a wide variety of institutional owners. I noticed Valkyrie Bitcoin Miners ETF in here and a few other ETFs, as well as Morgan Stanley. So again, you will start to see more and more ETFs picking up these Bitcoin miners as they start to show they have some good fundamental value. And of course, as the price of Bitcoin is increasing, that does bring value to this entire Bitcoin mining sector. So I am not surprised to see many ETFs listed here as some of the institutional owners, but taking a look at the graph for HIVE, it did have a slight increase for the month of March in terms of institutional ownership, and currently institutional shares are being held at 40 million shares long and a total value of $103 million. And taking a look at number 12 on our list, this is Canaan. This is a newer stock that I decided to add to my Bitcoin mining group. They have a ticker symbol of CAN. They've been around for quite some time. They actually do manufacture the Bitcoin miners and sell them to other Bitcoin mining companies, but they also started to release their monthly mining metrics. So I went ahead and added them to this list. Taking a look, they have a total of 127 institutional owners with a wide variety of ownership. Taking a look at their institutional ownership graph, you can see the month of March was a rather large and significant spike in ownership. Total institutional shares being held long, it comes in at 94 million, and institutional value for those shares is $153 million. And coming in at number 11 on our list is Bitfarms, that is ticker symbol BITF. They had a total institutional ownership in the month of March of 200 companies. And you can see this total list here, a couple different Valkyrie Bitcoin Miner ETF again, as well as a few other ETFs. And taking a look at the bar graph on the bottom left, you can see that there was a spike in institutional ownership in the month of March for Bitfarms. Total institutional shares held long is 131 million, almost 132 million, and institutional value for those shares is 182.9 million. Coming in at number 10 on our list is Digital, that is ticker symbol BTBT. They have a total of 256 institutional owners with quite a wide range of ETFs. You can see iShares Russell 2000 on this list, as well as UBS Group. And I see Geo Capital Management. They have been on quite a few of these Bitcoin miners. And then, of course, many of you do know Citadel. And looking at the graph, you can see that there was a spike in institutional ownership in the month of March for BTBT. Taking a look at institutional shares held long, they're currently at 79.3 million shares with a value of $220.8 million. And taking a look at number 9 on our list, this is BitDR Technologies, that is ticker symbol BTDR. They had a total institutional ownership of 165 owners. Some of the largest holders are going to be Citigroup and Citadel Advisors. Those are some of the names that I recognize on this top list. And looking at the bar graph here, last reported ownership was an increase for BitDR. And you can see institutional ownership of shares held long came in at 33.7 million shares with an institutional value of $622.7 million. And taking a look at number 8 on our list, this is IREN, that is ticker symbol IREN. They have a total of 222 institutional owners, with some of the largest owners being BIT Capital and Citadel Advisors. Those are some of the largest of the owners that I am familiar with. Taking a look at the bar graph on the bottom left, you can see they had a spike in institutional ownership, and on the right-hand side, institutional ownership shares held long came in at 97.3 million shares for an institutional value of $922.8 million. And coming in at number 7 on our list, this is CIFR Mining, that is ticker symbol CIFR. They have a total of 373 institutional owners, and if you want to take a look at some of these names, I see Vanguard Total Stock, Vanguard Group, BlackRock, as well as this index fund investor shares. And again, I see Geo Capital Management and iShares Russell 2000 ETF. So there are quite a few large names holding CIFR Mining currently. And if you look at that bottom left bar graph, you're going to see a very large spike in institutional ownership for CIFR. That institutional ownership last reported was 253.8 million shares for a total institutional value of $1.156 billion. And coming in at number 6 on our list is HUT8, that is ticker symbol HUT. They have a total of 359 institutional owners, some of the largest owners being BlackRock, Vanguard, and some index funds, as well as iShares Russell ETF, and again, Geo Capital. And there is Citadel and another Vanguard index fund as well. Taking a look at the bar graph on the bottom left, you can see there was a small uptick for HUT8 of institutional ownership, and institutional shares held long came in at 59.89 million shares for a total institutional value of $1.197 billion. And coming in at number 5 on our list is terawulf, that is ticker symbol WULF. They have a total of 463 institutional owners. Some of the largest names include BlackRock, Vanguard, and again, Vanguard Market Index Fund, Geo Capital, iShares Russell 2000, and a few other ones, including Morgan Stanley. Taking a look at the bottom left bar graph for terawulf, you can see there was an increase in institutional ownerships. Last reported for terawulf, institutional shares held long was 221.3 million for a total institutional value of 1.216 billion. Coming in at number 4 on our list is CleanSpark, that is ticker symbol CLSK. They have a total institutional ownership of 491 companies. Some of the largest companies include BlackRock, Vanguard, Morgan Stanley, Citadel, and then a couple of these other Vanguard index funds, as well as iShares Russell 2000 ETF, and again, Geo Capital Management. So again, a lot of large names holding CleanSpark. Taking a look at that bottom left bar graph, you're going to see another spike in terms of institutional ownership for CleanSpark. That translates to a total institutional shares held long at 168 million for an institutional value of $1.495 billion. Taking a look at number 3 on our list is RIOT Platforms, that is ticker symbol RIOT. They had a total of 555 different institutional owners, and some of the largest names include Vanguard Group, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Jericho Capital, and Vanguard Total Stock Company, an index fund, as well as iShares Russell 2000 ETF. So again, quite a bit of large names holding RIOT. Taking a look at that bottom left bar graph, you're going to see a significant spike in institutional ownership for RIOT last reported, and that institutional shares held long came in at 219.459 million shares for an institutional value of $2.257 billion. And coming in at number 2 on our list is CORZ Scientific, that is ticker symbol CROZ. They have a total of 528 institutional owners, some of the largest owners being Vanguard Group, BlackRock, and Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, as well as Hampton Road Capital Management. So quite a few different large holders, some of these names being different here for CORZ Scientific, but regardless, taking a look at the bottom left, you can see a jump in institutional ownership again for CORZ Scientific. Institutional shares held long at 268.6 million shares for an institutional value of $3.676 billion. And number 1 on our list in terms of institutional share value is Mara Holdings. That is ticker symbol MARA. They have a total of 697 institutional owners holding their shares. Some of the biggest names being BlackRock, Vanguard, iShares, as well as a small cap ETF, Citadel Advisors, again, another Vanguard index fund, and Vanguard small cap index fund, and then Geo Capital Management. Taking a look at Mara's institutional ownership graph there at the bottom left, you can see another spike in institutional ownership here for Mara. Looking at the right-hand side, institutional shares held long came in at 258.3 million for an institutional value of $4.198 billion. All right, and that wraps up for me. I hope you enjoyed this quick update on institutional ownership for these 15 Bitcoin mining companies. If you did like this video, consider giving it a like. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so you get the latest and greatest of the video content coming out. Go ahead and turn on notifications as well so you get it the first day it comes out. And drop a comment. What are your thoughts about the institutional ownership? Do you think this is going to help provide some stability for these Bitcoin mining stocks? Do you think some of these institutional owners are lending out their shares, providing some short liquidity? Love to hear your thoughts on that. And with all that said, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you on the next one.